Rick Dollar here for the Rick Dollar Show podcast. And I have two great guests today.
Yes.
And they're silent.
Yes, you do.
Who are they?
Josh Williams.
Yeah, man. Hello.
Oh, and Mike Anglin.
Howdy.
With Southern Legacy.
Yes.
Yeah. What are you guys doing at Randy's Old Time Picking Parlor?
We responded to an invite.
Did they say bring your wallet or?
No, I think it was just bring your rear end and come be a part of a podcast.
I got you.
So that's what we did.
Yeah.
Sorry, had to have
That's
a drink
good.
there.
How is that?
Boys, pop a top on them if you want one.
Oh,
boys.
absolutely.
I got you. Yeah, everything seems good. All right, so you guys played
that's
at
nice.
I almost said Jekyll Island. Jekyll Island.
Yeah.
And how was that?
Oh, it's fantastic, man. Great crowd. Great. We love working for Ernie any chance we get to, and just a great dude. And yeah, people down there at his places are always just fantastic.
Well, I've dealt with Ernie quite a bit, and just knowing him, just talking to him, he had a vision when he started, building the brand.
Yeah.
And the dude knows what he's doing. He's getting it down to a science.
Yeah. He's got a great staff that really backs him up. Everybody has their job. They take care of it. When you roll into Ernie's festivals, you don't have to worry about anything. It's all covered.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You were telling me that you guys were having trouble just getting through the crowd to get to the record table.
It was nuts last night.
That's kind of problem you need, though.
Yeah. I had a ball, but I'm just trying to get my stuff off stage, and everybody's back there hanging out and talking, and it's like, oh yeah, the sound guys need me to move my junk. And couldn't get back up there. But
oh man,
great time, great crowd.
Yeah. Hey, want to go through some things real quick before we get too deep in. We've got some really good sponsors and partners in this business. Matador Energy, of course. One of my favorite is the berry grape. This is pretty good. Yeah. Nice little shot in the arm when you need to get something done. You know what I mean? And Hopeless Holler Trading Company is doing a line of merch for the podcast. And actually, we got a T-shirt sent to us. This is one of our new designs. I don't know who that dude is, but
check him out.
Yeah, heck of a T-shirt there. Good job, Lisa and Nathan at Hopeless Holler. Need to check out those guys online. They're going to be doing a lot of good stuff in this industry. There's no doubt about it. So, how long was your set? You did what, 90 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, had a long set last night. But
yeah. So, what'd you think about coming into Randy's place today?
It has been wonderful. I've heard Randy forever and heard his instruments and all that stuff, and walked in and he's sitting there eating a banana. It's like,
exactly.
That's the coolest thing ever.
That's Randy. Randy's a good guy. He has 1,000,001 stories.
I'm sure.
And some days I just come in over here and just start a conversation with him. And when you do that, you're opening the door to stories that nobody's really heard.
Yeah. That's great.
The Jimmy Buffett entourage stories were pretty good. And a Buford Pusser from Walking Tall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. All those guys used to hang out in Nashville around growing guitars. So... But he's building, Randy builds stuff like he used to, man. I mean, it's all rock solid stuff. He will service it for you. If you're in town, slide by, he'll do whatever he needs to do. You got to think, this guy did this for most people that were on the Grand Ole Opry every week in Nashville. I mean, you got guys, Porter Wagner, anybody you could think of. Would come in there and have work done. They don't have to be country or bluegrass or whoever. There's guys that come in here. I mean, that you're like, God, I didn't even know this person existed in this part of the country, But Steve Earle is the story I like to tell. Hear the little ding ding on the door, and Robert's gone somewhere, I think, to go get his lunch or something. And I turn around and there's Steve Earle. I was like, holy crap. What do I do now? You know? Tell you what. But anyway, what's going on with Southern Legacy, man? I see what's happening right now with you guys. And I was amazed earlier in the year. You had a couple of really good songs that came out and were just smacking everybody around on the charts. I mean, it's as nice as I can be about it. And I think it was on purpose.
I like the way you think.
Yeah, I think it was, because you guys have got it together, and it means a lot in the industry when we can see somebody come in, put guys together like you guys have. I mean, just go down the lineup, Josh. You're being awfully quiet.
Well,
it's just,
that
scares me.
Well, obviously we have the best looking two in the group here.
And I'm not even involved.
No.
Nicest two heads in the business.
Yeah, that's
There you
right,
go.
man. And along with us, you've got the great Don Rigsby, and of course Ron Block and Steve Thomas.
Yeah.
And the five of us have something that, honestly, I can say that I've never been a part of before. It's such a it's a beautiful thing that we all have together, and no kidding. It's just a feeling of family. We all feel like it was God put us all together.
Yeah, I mean, I think whenever guys get together like this and there's it gels, and you're talking about big names, I mean, what else can it be?
Yeah. No, yeah.
It's got to be something good.
Yeah. Everything is just, when we first was putting it together, Don and I were initially talking about it and forming the idea. And then the very first name that we both thought of and agreed upon was Mike's. And we contacted him. And then, it became the three of us. And we had a couple other folks that we had thought lined up in the other positions, and it didn't work out for whatever reasons. And we ended up actually we had Ron Block fill in with us on one weekend.
What a fill-in!
Yeah. And we wouldn't have even considered, because we didn't think he would even be interested, And and I remember Don asking him, hey, would you like to do more of these dates? And he said, man, I would love to do as many of them as you got. He said, well, we hadn't asked you because we figured you'd be busy. And his response, I'll never forget it, was, I'm not as busy as you think I am.
Wow. But when you're Ron Block, you don't have to take everything that comes down the pike.
And that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just the guy is an amazing person all the way across the board.
Yeah.
Remember playing the first song backstage. I think it was Rudy Fest or someplace. And as soon as he kicked that first tune off, it's like, that's it. There was just the magic that happened in the timing and all that stuff. And, like I say, it's a God thing. You can't get around it. Everything kind of fell together.
Well, what shocks me is how, I hate to say this, but it's how common this kind of formula is working these days. I mean, look what Alison Krauss and Union Station has done. Of course, the old Alison Krauss and Union Station was just masterful.
Yeah.
But now she's doing it again. I mean, it's a shocker, but she's got the formula down, dude. I don't understand it, but it's working, and it's really working for you guys.
Yeah.
So, what do you do?
Well, with Ron, with that situation with Allison, we all felt like it was super important for him to do that as well, because they hadn't performed anything in over 10 years. Yeah,
and that's what amazes me. You haven't played together in 10 years, and you can just walk into somewhere and pick it up. I don't know, man.
It was. I know.
weird,
I know they had a lot of rehearsing involved, and of course, with this comeback after such a long hiatus, they had another person come in Tominski's place, with Russell Moore. So there was some extra rehearsing on top of the normal bit that needed to be done. So, but we support Ron in that, and
I'm telling you, how could you not?
yeah, it's a great thing for him financially. It's part of who he is. That's how we know Ron Block today in bluegrass is because of the work that he did with Allison.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
we all respect that. We love him. We want him to be with us as much as possible. But having to take a couple of years without him and still having him in the long run is worth it.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say to that. I mean, only you guys have experienced that,
Yeah.
So I don't know. So what are you thinking about getting back on the road as much as you guys are now? Are you just doing what you want to do or what you are expected to do as far as festivals? And I mean, I know everybody has a life and you don't want to burn the candle at both ends because it's just not worth it in the end.
Well, everybody at the band's got their own things going on,
right,
beyond the band. Mm-hmm. And when we first put it together, we were talking. Man, I've got this going on. We've got this going on, and we set okay, let's do 25 dates a year, maybe 30 at the outside. Record, play a few dates that we want to do, really cool things and all that stuff. And we've about maxed out on that right now. We may add some more stuff if it comes to it. The band has changed from being, okay, we're doing a specialty thing to being like, I think everybody pretty much wants to do it all the time. Like we're talking about just the personal connection. Every time we get together, it's like a family reunion, and the music is always so much fun, and we have a blast hanging out with our families.
Exactly.
We went to Arkansas. It was a month and a half ago or something like that, and got a big Airbnb, and everybody had their families and all this stuff, and we hung out for the whole weekend, and it's just like, this is the best thing ever. Mm-hmm. I've never been in a band like that, where it's like, when we get home off the road, I'm ready to get on with this group. It's like, okay, now what are we going to do next? Oh,
that's right.
Oh, got to go home.
Mm-hmm.
Back to real life.
Yeah. It's just a completely different. The whole aura of the personalities and musically and beyond the music is even more important. The way everybody gets on, it's like family, and it's the coolest thing I've ever been a part of.
Yeah. That's a good thing about it. I mean, if it's you guys gel on stage, but man, when you can get along,
that's
when the lights go out and you're sitting watching television with Mike angling. You guys fight over the remote? Or
No.
No?
No. In fact, we didn't even have a TV out there, did we?
No, I don't believe so.
Didn't even need one.
What's wrong with you people?
But it's just a matter of finding the right people, you know what I mean? And when Steve's name came up, we were all like, well, let's get together and see how it goes, because I hadn't even thought about him, we had initially started with Aubrey Haney was playing a lot of the dates with us, but never had a full commitment on it, and couldn't make one because of his busy studio career.
Exactly.
So we decided that since he was not going to be to where he could do it full time, we were going to try to find that person to be able to do it. And Steve came in, and in all honesty, I had a few reservations about that, just because didn't know how that was going to fit, with the guy that's a great player but done mostly country for the last 30 years, and anyway, I mean, just the very first few minutes of the first day that he was there, we all were at Ron's house, and it was just immediately apparent that it was supposed to be the five of us.
See, I love that kind of stuff. Anytime I saw Jerry Douglas around, no matter what he was doing, whoever he was with, what he was playing, I always noticed that there was this thing about him that gelled everybody together sometimes, because sometimes you could see, well, it did, it's not a really good song, but man, if you throw a resonator in there, and he knows how to fill in those spots. And there's guys like that out there, but
Well, I can tell you this about people like that. A lot of it is just the energy that they carry.
exactly.
I remember I did some, which Jerry wasn't a part of these shows, but I performed a few times with the Bluegrass Album Band.
Yep.
And just from the first time that we were all rehearsing and trying to get things together and all of that, the timing was wonky. And, Crow was just like, this is not, timing's weird, and he's,
But
he's
I'd give
hitting me,
I'd give
hitting
anything
Dole.
for him to
Yeah,
peck me on the
just like,
shoulder right now.
But the moment that Tony walked in,
Yeah, I know, man.
everything changed. Everything changed. I mean, the barometric pressure in the room
I'm
changed.
telling you, man. Because
and Jerry's like that too. All of those guys from that generation. Sam can do that. Tony did that. Jerry does it. I mean, all of those guys. Bela. I mean, just their energy that they bring in, and I'm sure it's because they all played together for so many years.
Yeah.
That Ron brings that to us. He brings a level of energy that is nobody else has ever brought before.
Right. Yeah.
And it's one of those things where it's just the energy. Like we have another guy on when Ron can't do it. We have a guy from North Carolina, Jody King. Great player, man.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh yeah, top notch.
Yeah, phenomenal player. But there's just a magic that happens from like the very moment that we kick off with Ron being there.
Yeah, and you know what? You're right. Energy is a really good word to use, because there's so many people out there that are, I don't want to say this the wrong way, but they're very educated musicians. And that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm completely with that. I know people that have gone to Berkeley School of Music, and they're very talented. They're good people. They love what they do. But if you get a guy that just learned on his own, or picked up what he could pick up from here and there, and then has that genuine talent, that's a whole different animal.
Yeah. It's all about the feel.
Yeah.
With guys like that.
Yeah, you talk about, some of these guys just blow it off the map. And you just wonder, where did this come from? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with just the direct connection of the people, that started this music. There was a direct connection there because you had Jimmy Martin played with Bill Monroe.
Yeah.
And then J.D. Crowe played with Jimmy Martin.
God.
And then Tony Rice and Jerry Douglas and Ricky Skaggs played with J.D. Crowe. So there is that direct connection, that is from, it's not just a, hey, I've been around it and I can do it. It's a direct connection there.
It's front and center, man. It's just like we were talking about Carl Jackson earlier off camera. And, Carl told me the story of the day that he met Glenn Campbell. Can you tell me who his roommates were? Who? You've heard? You saw him interview with him, didn't you?
No, I've known it was I know he was in a band that was supposed to be taking off when all of that happened, and I know Keith Whitley and Jimmy Goodrow were part of it.
But who else?
I don't remember who else.
Marty Stewart.
Marty Stewart. There you go.
So they're all living in this little place, and I think it was Keith came to him and said, Glenn Campbell's down here doing a show. We should go see it, So they just walked down there. I mean, there was a couple of kids. But, Carl had this aspiration. His whole life. He was going to play banjo for Glenn Campbell. And his dad kind of said, cool, let's do it.
Yeah.
So he walks in there, and the guy was like, he didn't know it, but the guy that was playing banjo for him now, or then, was trying to get out. He was trying to leave. he was like, opened up the trailer door, and there's Glenn Campbell, and he's like, found you a banjo player. See you later. Shut the door. And Glenn hired him on the spot. First question he asked him was, after the, can you play this? Can you play that? Can you play this? And his first question was, how much money do you want to make? And Carl told him $1 million.
There you go.
Yep. I said, that's what you want to tell Glenn Campbell.
Yeah.
But, guys like that, it was born and bred into a lot of those people. And I mean, he hung out with the masters,
Yeah.
just shocks me. And then, I'll just mention this. Carl's got a new record coming out now. It's the 100th anniversary of the 27 sessions in my hometown of Bristol, Tennessee and Virginia. And, look for that record over the next year. I think they're shopping it right now, just trying to get a good label that'll get it out there. But great people to be around. I mean, him and Jerry Sally and Cordell and all those guys have they've sat down with me and, man, wherever we could go,
Yeah.
and just great. They built something with what we got here. But anyway, what's the future looking like? I mean, everybody seems happy. Okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're sitting here content, like my Aunt Wilma. But anyway, well, she didn't have the beard, but anyway, everybody, everybody seems happy, and
Yeah.
I'm tickled to be a part of this.
But don't get us wrong. We want to make $1 million.
Oh God, we'll tell Carl that. So
Yeah.
Carl's probably pulled it off, by now.
Oh, I'm sure he has.
Carl told me a story about Alison Krauss one time when they first labels started noticing her and wanting to sign her. He was like, she came to me and she was a wreck. All she was saying was they want to change me. They want me to do this. They want me to do that. They want me to make put my hair this way or sing this way or whatever. And he said, be you. Mm-hmm. That's all you got to do. So she has been her.
There you go.
So, but you guys are doing the same thing. You've got plenty of experience on either side of the ball. And I think the biggest point about what's going on with Southern Legacy, besides great music that's coming out of the camp, is you guys know what you're doing and you've got to focus. You know what you want to do. You want to enjoy every day doing something you like to do, and it shows. Mm-hmm. Shows in how you record, what you do, live performances. Mm-hmm. I mean, there you go. That's just my opinion.
Well, we love playing music. We love making music together, mm-hmm. and we're working on getting our first record finished so we can get it out, and and it's primarily bluegrass. There's going to be a few things on there that's not, but for the most part, it's going to be mostly bluegrass, and we have a unique ability, I think, to be able to pull off different genres of music, mm-hmm. not just bluegrass. We don't want to just be bluegrass. We want to make good music. And, I'm not anti-bluegrass by any means. I grew up mm-hmm. playing it, and I love it. I will always love it. Mm-hmm. And when I listen to it, I tend to go on the traditional side of things. Yeah. But we have a unique ability, I think, to be able to do more countryer stuff, or mm-hmm. to even, we can hopefully maybe even get into that realm. And we have one song on there that was written, it's a gospel song. And I don't know what kind of genre you would call that.
It's a different critter for sure.
It's a weird thing because it's all acoustic, obviously. It's very acoustic sounding, but I mean, it goes all the way from like a folky type of sound all the way up to some Hotel California type of sound, Wow. And it's really cool. You know?
I can't wait to hear that.
So, it's great songwriters have really, brought us some good material. Yeah. And we've been very fortunate as far as that goes.
So what kind of songwriters are we talking about?
Well,
Ron Block.
Ron Block's
Don
got
Rigsby.
a couple of them. Don
Oh,
Rigsby, yeah.
I know those guys. I've heard of them.
Of course,
Jim Hurst.
Jim Hurst, yeah. There's of course, you know the song that was written by Mark Rossi and Jeff Walter, the song that we had, Hills of Carter County. Mm-hmm. That was our first single that we had, and it's done really well. And we're actually putting the final touches on the new single that's going to be coming out, and it was written by Don, and it's a really cool song written about his dad. And it's called "Bill from Isonville."
Wow.
So we hope that
you see, I see a trend here, but this is what you guys do. When I heard Hills of Carter County, I mean, what did you have to do with that, Mike?
I played bass.
I know, just okay. Take two. No.
Delete.
What was your part in that? I mean, was there like, I know when you guys record, everybody has opinions, about what needs to happen.
Yeah, we sat down and listened to the demo in the studio. Don, I think he'd had that song for a little while.
Really?
And we were listening. As soon as we heard it, it's like, oh, yeah, we got to do that.
I know.
And Ron kind of disappeared. And I went and walked around the corner into the other room of the studio, and he's sitting there with the guitar finger picking. And it's like, oh, yeah.
God.
And then it was all pretty well built around that just rolling finger picking guitar and his vocals. And it's like when we did the scratch, I think it just had the guitar.
That's how we initially cut the track, was just Ron's guitar and I sang, and that was it.
It could have been a single.
Okay,
like that.
help me out with Carter County. Okay, because I have a history with Carter County in Tennessee, right outside of Sullivan County, where I was born, where I was raised. Well, sort of half raised, but and when I heard that, and I heard your vocals and how deep they were, and it was a rich kind of tone, and it made me so freaking homesick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought, because I'll tell you this story. This is the truth. When I heard that song, it made me remember driving by a sign right at the edge of Carter County, because there was a bluegrass festival there that used to be there every year. It was called Slagle's Pasture.
Yeah, I played that.
When you sang that, I was in the truck with my pawpaw. And I remember looking at the sign when we went by, and I said, "What's that?" He said, "Buddy, they play some good music there." And Pawpaw was responsible for the infamous Doyle Lawson 8-track tape incident that happened soon after that. So I got a double dose that summer. And first time that I had ever heard of, Dr. Ralph Stanley and guys like that. Scary. Scary. But it shaped my love for the music, but it also shaped stuff in my life, not even aware of. But when you sang that, it brought it all back. And I was like, shit, what am I going to do with this?
Yeah.
Those were feelings I hadn't had in years.
Yeah.
So
the amazing
thank you.
part about that,
I appreciate that.
When we were in the studio, he walked in there to do the scratch vocal.
Yeah.
And we're all sitting in there listening. And it's like, wow.
I know,
there's something going on. And he walked back in and said, "Oh, yeah, that'll do it." And it's like, no. That's it. I think there was 2 words that may have stumbled a little bit on. 'Cause I think you had the lyric sheet with you.
Yeah.
And
man,
that was the scratch vocal that went on the album with 2 words repaired.
Yep.
And that was that. Done.
Crap.
He just caught lightning in a bottle.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yep. And it wasn't put together. It wasn't worked on for days on end. He walked in, sang it one time, got that feel.
God.
And that's magic right there.
Dude, it don't happen. I mean, It doesn't happen like that all the time. Mm-hmm. If it did, we'd all be vocalists. We'd all be making music. And I don't know, dude.
Well, thank you. I'm glad to know that. I'm glad well, Jeff, the one of the songwriters, grew up in Carter County, Kentucky, which is, really not far from Carter County, Tennessee.
Couple hours. Yeah.
But he grew up there, and that was kind of his story of moving away and kind of looking back. And Steve said it one time, and I know the last time we had our conversation on your show, we talked about this, and Steve had the line of, you can, how is it that he said it? You can go home, but you can't go back. Yeah.
God, it's so true.
Yeah.
And that song made me want to go back and see my grandfather again and be in that truck where it was hot, no AC, windows cranked down, wondering, where we were going to go that day, Yeah. So you got to understand, man, these things affect a lot of people in different ways. Mm-hmm. But I think not a lot of people are open to try to feel something anymore. Everybody's kind of closed off. Mm-hmm. And, man, I just thank God that I can still do that. Yeah. Because it could be a lot worse, believe me.
That's what's so beautiful about music is that, that's just one of those things that can spark memories that that never goes away. A good song, if the message is conveyed correctly, then it will invoke your memories, and that's the beauty of it. That's what keeps memories alive.
Do you have a song that does that to you guys? You have something that
Paradise by John Prine.
Yes.
That does that for me. And the reason I say that is because, number one, that was my dad's favorite song.
Oh, there you go.
And my dad loved John Prine. But when I was a little kid, like 3, 4, 5 years old, my daddy worked for TVA, and he worked at Paradise Steam Plant in Muhlenberg County, Kentucky.
Gotcha.
And we lived up there for a little while, and I can literally remember I have a very vivid memory of traveling down what was then the Western Kentucky Parkway. And I remember seeing, just as you passed into Muhlenberg County, because we would travel. My grandmother still lived in Benton, so we were doing a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
And but I remember seeing the top of the shovel that Peabody had brought in there to do all that work, to bring in the quote unquote world's largest shovel. And I remember seeing it over the tree line. And then I can also remember it not being there anymore.
Yeah.
And I remember asking my dad what happened, and he said, well, it was so big that it cost too much money to transport it. Because
I can imagine
it could only be moved essentially by train, in order to it had to be dismantled and then put, loaded onto a train and carried wherever else it was going to be used. And it was just so cost prohibitive that when they tore it down, they just buried it.
God.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, but that's the kind of song that happens to me on, and the reason is when my dad passed away he passed away on June 12th of 2017. Wow. I got to take him. I guess it was earlier, probably a year, maybe two earlier. I got to take him to a concert in Louisville of John Prine.
Oh my gosh!
And he closed out his show with Paradise.
Wow!
And when we were driving up there, he wanted to stop off at. We lived in a little community called Drakesboro, which is literally right where the town used to be. Paradise. There was literally a fossil fuel plant built on there, where the town was, and we had a little place just not even probably 2 miles maybe from the plant itself. And so Dad wanted to go up there and see the old farm, and he called it the goat farm. We lived there's this little road called Ebenezer Road, and it was a little, I don't know what you'd call it. It's a community called Ebenezer, but it was on the corner of what used to be the old Merle Travis family farm.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So anyway, we went to that place, and he was saying, when I die, I want my ashes spread around here. And I was like, you do realize that's going to be difficult. And he's like, why would that be difficult? I said, because I would have to go up to these people that now own this place and say, hey, would you mind if I spread my father's remains around your house? Like, no. He was like, well, I tell you what, let me think about that. So when we went to that show, we went out to a little place there on the Green River, which is where the Rochester Dam, just before you got into Rochester, Kentucky, there was a dam there, and they had basically, it was such a primitive dam. It was just huge rocks.
Dang.
It wasn't like a dam that you would go see, like today's way of building them.
Yeah.
So it was literally just a bunch of rocks that didn't totally, but mostly dammed up the river. And, but anyway, he said, this is where I want to be put in.
Wow.
So he wanted his ashes to be put in the Green River. And, so that's what I got to do. And on Father's Day of 2012, I got to give my dad that one last gift that I knew he wanted. And that was, to put his ashes in the Green River and let his soul just roll on up past the Rochester Dam. And he got to do it, So that song is always going to be that for me.
I don't blame you. Yeah. Mike, you got something that just kicks you in the rear end?
How can I even compete with that?
I'm telling you. 45 minutes of...
I don't even want to tell a story now.
Yeah, I don't want to do this.
I don't want to.
I'm just going to sit over here and cry for a little while.
I'm telling you, I feel terrible now. So what, do you really? Do you have something like that?
No, nothing like that. No, but,
really?
But grew up with music completely. So there's so many different things that just, when you hear it, bring you back at that point.
God,
and all that
I know.
Kind of stuff. But I grew up listening to, Latin Scruggs and the Country Gentlemen and the Eagles and Creedence and Jones and Haggard. My family listened to everything. So.
See, you went all the way through that time period, man, of music. Good God.
Good stuff.
No kidding. Just makes you crazy, man, thinking, what if I would have been this old back then? What would I have thought about Merle Haggard, Guys like that. Well, fellas, I'm going to let you guys get in the vehicles and do what you got to do. We thank you for stopping at Randy Wood's Old Time Pick and Parlor and Randy Wood's Guitars today. Thanks to Hopeless Holler Merchandise Company, man. These guys are just, I love these guys at Hopeless Holler. You gotta go look them up at hopelesshollertradingcompany.com. And Monster, of course, and Matador Energy, thanks to them. But thanks for listening to the Rick Dollar Show podcast. And my guest today, we've had some fun. Mike Anglin.
Yes, sir.
And Josh Williams.
Thank you, Rick. Thanks for having us, man.
Yes, sir.